This is a poem about the forests and the nature on these islands, because one of my biggest fears about incorporation is the threat of increased development. And so this poem is called Our Stories. It's about the stories we tell and the connections that we make to nature. And I think we need to remember so much right now the connections that we have to the natural world and how this is for that nature as well, not just for ourselves. And so, here we go. Our stories. As long as we can remember, and even farther, we tell stories, the stories of our lives, of our ancestors, of our souls, stories of love and joy and fear, stories of the lives that pass us and hold us. I told one such story to the sky and the flowers. I don't even remember it. Know only that they listened. Know only that everything I loved had bark, had fur, had leaves, had a life flowing through it I could pour into my words. I promised to give back everything I took, all the words I pulled from the veins of the trees. When I was 4, my best friend was a ponderosa pine. Her name was Little Tree. I would hug her and whisper to her and stroke her long needles. My joy was when I ran down the hill to her, sat beside her, held the roughness of her bark, told her of our lives. When I was 6, I spent my entire lunch hour every day beside the stump of a birch tree, whispering to it, hoping that someday it would spring again from the soil to sway above me, so gentle, so playful, the only one in that school who knew my heart. When I was 8, I used to spend my recess and lunch with my arms wrapped around an enormous tree, pressed against the bark, face lifted to the glory of the branches. Its beauty held me for hours. Its comfort was all I needed. Every caterpillar on the bark a story, every whisper of forgiveness an answer to a prayer I did not know I had sent. When I was 9, we moved to Salt Spring Island. I jumped out of the car to our new home and ran straight into the arms of an arbutus tree. Held her, and she held me like a mother, my cheek pressed against the cool bark, a blazing sunset welcoming me to my new home. At school, I tiptoed into a forest that did not yet know my name, brushed my fingers against wood that did not yet yield to love, vanished into dark, cool woods to press my cheeks into moss. I learned friendship once more. At 12 years old, I found myself caught in a school between hard walls and the briars of gorse. My confidence shook and fell ashen to its knees. The crook of an arbutus held me in my tender fear as I washed my face against its bark. On Saturna, the alders dipped and swayed like the dancing blade of a violin, their leaves patterning mirrors of learning on my face. As my heart swelled into the person I was becoming, I made the island with the trees, the hills, the secrets, my home. I made my life my home. Now here, running through the forests of myself with all this mist and gesture, ripping through my life like its glaze of bright and blaze of beauty is something I must seek for when really my heart tiptoes into the trees, settles itself into the roots, meditates when I turn words into air and write stories from the roots of trees, waiting till I find myself in their warm arms, in the companionship of the forest, learning how to hold my life in the palm of my hand, be everything I need to be, and become everything I have been forever. And this is just one story of how the forests built my life. Thank you.